because everybody ain't started out with 10, 20 reps, man. You start with 1 rep. I don't know nobody that could say, ain't nobody did nothing for me. I did it all by myself.
Exactly.
I want to meet you. If nobody encouraged you or informed you that you could do it, and come on, man, you know, like, I want to know who you are.
مفتوح للاجتهادات التقليد هذا حد العالم هذا طالب هذا راسخ والى اخره.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh to all the RipRight Hadith disciples, YouTubers and viewers. Welcome back to a new video on RipRightHD, and today we out here with the one and only, the legend, the OG, one of the founders of calisthenics in NYC, Kieth, the creator of the 5Bs, the first pull-up calisthenics tournament to exist. What's going on today, brother?
Oh, man, I can't call it. I might spoil it.
I know that's brother? Right. Okay, first and foremost, you mind giving us your age, man? How old are you?
I turned 65 May 18th.
And are you still active?
Yes. Not full man, but yeah, I'm moving.
Still active?
Moving. Yes.
Okay, salute. Okay, how did you come about getting into calisthenics?
Oh, man, it started out like, well, I'm the oldest of my siblings. 4 of us, you know, 3 boys and 1 girl. So I kind of like had to set the trend, like when I was a little guy. My moms and pops also was very active, like when they was younger, you know, so it's genetics that played a part in it, you know, handed down to me. So when I was like about 4 or 5 years old, I always wanted to jump, skip, hop, you know, do whatever. And back then, we was always outside playing different games and everything, right? So we had monkey bars, sliding boards, all that, climbing the fence, jumping off the swings to the fence, you know, jumping off of roofs, you know, to mattresses and things of this nature, you know. So it carried over until like the transition of that ghetto type of working out and being athletic to like the more traditional basketball, track and field, boxing, swimming, things like that. So PAL was played a very important part. Like when I was younger, I participated in that organization. The youth, the what was it? The WYMCA. The youth organization. I participated in that.
Yeah, I'm
that
familiar.
Group. And then we had a lot of centers, a lot of schools that was available, open up when I was younger. After school centers, day centers, you know. So I was very active, man, like young, man. I mean, I was nice too, pertaining to participating and competing. I learned that competition thing early, man. It started in the house. You know what I'm saying, with my siblings and all, and it carried out to the streets.
Okay, salute. So you brought the regular street kind of, because everybody started. If you're somebody, especially from NYC in the 80s at least, growing up, 90s, then we know about the mattresses and backflipping and stuff like that. So you brought all of that and brought it over. So what made you do the pull-up? What made you do a muscle up, or what made you do push-ups? What brought it to that level?
Well, again, like being in school, and it started out when I was in grammar school. That's like kindergarten up to the 6th grade. That was one particular school that we went to, right? And they had back then a president's physical fitness test that you had to do, and you had to do a certain amount of sit-ups, a 2-mile run or something like that there, and chin-ups, not pull-ups, chin-ups and jumping jacks and stuff like that there. So I did that there before I reached the grade 6. And I was like 10 years old, 9 years old, and we had to do that. We had field day. We had a thing called field day where everybody got together in certain classes, competed against certain classes, like in 100 meters and, you know, different broad jumps and standing jumps and stuff like that there. So as far as after that, going into junior high school, it started to escalate and to another level of competition, because then instead of just having people like on your block or just up the street or 2 blocks away and everything, going into junior high school, you had people coming from other communities and neighborhoods, and they brought reputations with them, you know. So that was a competitive thing too. And back then we was knuckling up, you know. That was the thing, like, you know, skipping class and going into the bathroom or doing something in the hallway, the back staircase and things like that. Yeah, I wasn't all that of a good student, so to speak, you know. So, and going into high school, that's when I was really like playing basketball. I ran track for high school. Also wanted to be half in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So I would be in the park, and, you know, I started like in the park with the calisthenics too, you know, who could do the most push-ups. Back then it was about who had the biggest guns, you know, who was fast with their guns, who was hitting hard, you know, things like that there. There wasn't too many people that was kicking, you know what I'm saying, or grappling, but that was a thing too, you know, 52 knuckles, all that stuff like that there, you know. So, you know, but coming out of high school, I wind up getting into the military. I wound up having an 11-year stint with the military, right? And it was every day calisthenics, man. Jumping jacks, 2-mile runs, you know, pull-ups, chin-ups, push-ups, you know, all of that there. Chest out, stomach in, you know, that was the motto, like, you know, chest out, stomach in, you know what I'm saying? So many sit-ups, so, man, it was the best training of my life, man. That military training, man. Yeah, man. That's right.
So now, once you left the military, you like, I'm elite.
Hello. You know, not to say that it was all roses. Like, I had my ups and downs in terms of like falling down and having to get back up and all. But I know my purpose was about that. Was about training and loving to, like, you know, participate and compete and things like this here. And I know I wasn't by myself, but I knew people engage in encouraging me and saying, man, you a born leader, you this, that, and the other, you know. And I believe half of that, you understand what I'm saying? At times it was like, yeah, well, I don't really want to be a leader like that there. I know I could do this here. I'm MVP, you know, I'm outstanding, getting trophies and medals and things like this here. And, but I couldn't get away from it. So I think around my late 30s, early 40s, then this is when I really kind of try to be consistent with it. Because at the age, like in 1998, that was 22 years ago, I was, 43, something like that? Yeah, 43.
You're 40,
43, yeah. Just before that, that's when I was taking this kind of serious with the bar game up in the parks. And it was basically a lot of brothers just coming home, brothers that was used to the yard. So that's basically what the park workout was about. It was about the yard workout. You know? That's how we came to coming into the park. You know, it was an interesting thing because you had to keep up, you know, where you was at. And I was in the gym also. I was in the gym.
Weight training?
Yeah. I was a power lifter at one time. Yeah, I was benching like 345.
And what was your heaviest weight as far as body?
205.
205, nice.
I'm 160 now.
Nice, that's 45 pounds.
And I got some pictures, you know, that I'm able to like show and say, yeah, this is how I looked at somewhat, like, you know. And I boxed at 145 weight division in 84. I was Mid-Atlantic Northern Regional Conference champion at the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And when did you start powerlifting?
Back in the 80s. I mean, initially competing. This was in the late 80s. I got one trophy. And I didn't compete that long because in my weight division, I was at 165-pound weight division. And I was real tall, 5'11", and I was competing against guys that was 5'5", 5'4", 5'6".
Shorter
limbs. Their leverage was crazy.
Yeah, shorter limbs.
Was like, and I was like, oh, nah, man. I started hurting. My joints started messing with me and everything like that there because you have to go full range of motion and, you know, the deadlifts and, you know, I started hurting, man, you know. So I said, let me just start to turn more so to calisthenics. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I got a herniated bulging disc, all that craziness, you know, arthritis right now.
Yeah.
Sciatica, all that craziness.
May Allah make it easy.
Yeah.
All right. So now y'all took it to the parks. So as dudes, you know, 52 blocks, calisthenics, competition, what made you say, yo, you know what? I'm gonna monetize this, or I'm gonna turn this into something that's gonna benefit the youth and benefit the other calisthenic athletes around. Did you start seeing groups start coming around, or what made you say, yeah, let me just, you know?
No, well, to tell you the truth, back then wasn't really no groups. It was an individual thing. It was an individual person that loved to work out, you know what I'm saying? Maybe when they came in the park, they knew this cat, knew that cat, and they just worked out. There wasn't no teams or no groups or anything like that there. That to me, didn't start until a little later on. When we started the calisthenic competition, pull-up puck jam, or rather 5Bs, it wasn't even 5Bs in the beginning.
What was the name of it?
RF and KF. My partner, Ray Fun and Keith Fields, RF and KF Productions.
Nice.
Yeah, before it became 5Bs.
And 5Bs, and how long it took to change to 5Bs?
A couple of years.
A couple of years. And y'all would have it
RF
once
and
a year?
One annual, yeah, annually. Yeah.
Okay.
Annually, summertime.
So
yeah.
5Bs, what is the acronym for?
My partner came up with that name, 5Bs, Body Built Beautiful by the Bar. 5Bs. Body Built Beautiful by the Bar.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
That was back in the early 90s. That was back in the early 90s that we came up with that there. And, but we didn't, only reason why we couldn't use it as far as our non-for-profit organization, because when we went to go to get incorporated, they said we can't use that name. We can't associate it with anything. It was like, what? Oh man, so that's where Pull-Up Park Jam came in at. Because those what we were doing. We were doing Pull-Up Park Jams. We was doing jams in the park. So there's, no, that'll work. But at first that wasn't our name. It was 5Bs, but we couldn't use it on paper. Couldn't use it on paper.
Now, as far as the 5Bs tournament, how did y'all promote that? How did y'all get it out? How was the first one? Was it?
Well, how it started was that we had our regular crew out there working out in the park, 21's Park, Jackie Robinson Park in Bed-Stuy, Marion, and Malcolm X and Patchen.
Got it.
Right? He's out there, and they didn't have what they have out there now. I don't know if you ever been to the park.
I've been there.
Okay, what's there now that wasn't there back then? It was some straight out monkey bars and the fence we used to use, the floor for push-ups and stuff like that there. No sit-up boards and none of that stuff, We working out and everything, so it looked like it was beginning to start a beef between a couple of guys about who was nicer and who was doing shorties and who was full range of motion and this, that, and the other. And it became like kind of a little loud, So me and my partner, it was a crowd of us around, like, sound like a challenge to me, sound like, this, that, and the other. Like, yo, I think we get a little competition. This is how it started. But it's supposed to be friendly. It started out a friendly thing, everybody like coming in, doing their reps. And back then it was reps. It was rep work. How many reps can you do? No tricks. No muscle ups either. They was doing them somewhere, and I'll tell you about the first guy I've seen, like out there in the park, acting crazy. I thought he was crazy. Was Beast, Lord Vital, and he was about 12, 13 years old at the time.
Doing muscle ups.
He was doing more than muscle ups. Yo, man, that dude is sick. Yo, and he was sick with it. He had a little weight on him and everything. He was rib cut up, but he had a little weight on. And I was working out with his uncles. Me and his uncles used to work out. Yeah. But it started out as a friendly competition, and that was basically a lot of people was from just up the block, down the block, across the street, like that. The Brevoort Projects is right there, and most of everybody came out of there. You know what I'm saying? So me and my partner said, yo, well, let's do it. Let's have a competition. Oh man. from that point on, we went up to the block to a restaurant, and we wrote on a little piece of paper, like something, I forget what we wrote on the paper, but that's how it started out. We had like, we didn't even have a name. We didn't even have a name then, right then. It was just a competition, The name came later, right? And so it took, was it that summer? It was that summer. Like, let's say we was talking like in April or May, and it jumped off in like August, July or August. Now, mind you, $300 for trophies. That's what we spent, me and him, out of our pockets. The trophies was no bigger than this. It was about the size of that there standing up, like a plaque. $300, right? First, second, and third place. We had.
That's to show y'all.
Yeah.
Just about as big as this.
That size, right? And we had the name of the exercise, the first place, second place, and all that. And we had at that time, I think, 3 weight divisions: lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. That's it. And we didn't have as many exercises. We had push-ups, sit-ups, dips, squats, and pull-ups. Yeah, we had pull-ups. We had no muscle-ups. So, but okay, I don't know, like what we was expecting, like as far as a crowd, because I didn't know really too many people outside of our little area. But the word got around, and a few people came from different places that had little reps, you know what I'm saying, with them, and they brought it with them. Like, you know what I'm saying, and they took some trophies or whatever, you know. And then, like, okay, that's the first year. 3 years we was in that park. And it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like getting too big for this park. And then we put in a petition to get that what's in there, but they didn't consult us about making it the way we wanted. We wanted it separated. Sit-up boards over here, pull-ups over here, you know, not that little housing area like that there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We want, but they didn't, they just, oh man, what is this? Nah, man, we can't have it here doing it. So that's why we went to Lincoln Terrace after 3 years in 21s. But we never had it with the stuff that's there now. We never had it in that park, only from the old park. And then we went to Lincoln Terrace because it was open up. It was more open up. But each year it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. More people. Soon people from different boroughs, different states, different countries. Didn't expect all that. And we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have none of that stuff back then. We didn't have no Facebook. We didn't have nothing to record us and stuff like that there. We had the Polaroid camera where you check that out, man. Yo, you know, that's what we had back then. So it was nothing that we had to validate
what y'all had going on.
What we had going on. How it really. Well, we did. My man had a video, but it got distorted, man. It's like if I see it now, it's like.
Yeah.
And you can't see nothing really, like, you know. Yeah. So basically, that's how it was, you know, back then. And like I said, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we started to see more or less teams come into play. Like when we got over to Lincoln Terrace. I knew Beast before we got over there and all that there. There wasn't too many cats, well, older cats that I knew that was in the game, you know what I'm saying? But they wasn't really competing. You know, most of the cats that was competing was much younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like the oldest cat now today would be about 50, you know, 50. 15 years younger than me, but I was still competing. I was competing against them. When we went to Lincoln, I was competing, you know, and I was winning some stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then when I got 50, I was already 50. Matter of fact, I was already 50, and I created a 50 and over.
Nice.
Because I said, man, I ain't messing with you young guys. Y'all gonna kill me, you know what I'm saying? And I was winning the 50 and over for some years until I got to like 60. And then I think I started getting slower, injured, getting beaten. And I was like, you know what?
Hang it up.
I think I need to back out. But I plan on coming back. I plan on making a return, man. I get this here right, I plan on making a return. I always said I wanted to do something over 65 pertaining to the Guinness Book. Get in the Guinness Book of Records for most pulls. One shot. Full lockout, range of motion, pull-ups. That was my signature exercise in the calisthenics.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you competed in mostly every pull-up park jam, or just like later on?
I say out of 21 years that we've done it, I've competed in about 15, 16 of them.
Nice. How about your partner?
He never, yeah, he competed. He competed. He won. He came first place one year in sit-ups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a nut.
Yeah.
That was a
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So now y'all wasn't able to have it this year, obviously because of COVID.
Right. Yeah.
So I see, like you mentioned, there's a Chicago branch.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, Chicago came apart. Like Omari, he lives in Chicago now. He was back and forth Chicago, New York, and he competed the first time here in New York. I beat him, right? The first year he competed, and you know, it kind of messed him up, but it made him more thirsty and hungry. Yeah. So Amari's first year here, I think he did like about 34 pull-ups. I did like 35, 36, maybe a little bit more or whatever. And he was like, nah, man, I can't believe this old guy beat me like that did.
Oh, and he's younger.
Yeah. He's 30-something years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mari's 30-something years old. Like,
Oh, and you got him.
40 or whatever, you know. And so he got up underneath _Q.
All right, familiar with
a lot
Q.
of training and, you know, hanging out with them and Doc and them, right? You know, because he's new. He don't know nobody. He's new to the calisthenic thing and everything like that. But his thirst and hunger and desire and discipline, and he wanted to take something to Chicago. You know, he wanted to do this in Chicago. And so he asked, and we obliged him, said, yeah, man, okay, you know, no problem, you know. What's his name? Red, which is our director of operations, he the one that kind of like took Amari under his wing in terms of being a regional director of Pull-Up Park Jam abroad in Chicago. And I went there 4 years to kind of like introduce myself. Me, Red, Quincy, we all went out there a couple of years. And little bit by little bit, it got bigger and bigger and bigger and better. And so I don't know what was going on this year, but I wasn't really so adamant about like not doing it, but doing it. I don't know nothing about Chicago in terms of like how y'all situated, and I know that you're not the type of guy that really just, you know, want to do things just to be doing it, but you're about safety also too. So I believe that turned out well, and he's holding it down. This was the 6th year that they've been doing it out there, you know, and he's been training and instructing so many guys over there, and Chicago is now on the map in terms of calisthenics, man. Yeah, they got their own, like, you know, group of guys that, and I don't, they have came here, a few of them had came here and took some trophies back to Chicago.
Okay, because I've been to a Pull-Up Park Jam, but only one. But this was winter reps.
Okay.
How does that work out? So now it went from winter year to...
It went from summer, right? Now the winter reps, this would have been, well, we didn't have it this winter, because that's when the COVID like really
started.
But we have it in February, like History Month, you know, and we said nah. So this would have been our 8th, I think our 8th or 9th year for winter reps. But we were looking to do more than one competition during the year. Now, when the winter reps got underway, we were saying that it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not just in the summer. You know what I'm saying? It's not just in the spring. It's not just in the fall. It's not just in the winter. It's 4 seasons. all year round. Lifestyle. Don't just get in shape when it get hot. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe that you got to be in shape all times. You know what I'm saying? You just can't let yourself go and then it's, oh man, I got to get in shape, man. I'm going to go to the beach. Or, you know, just for different occasions. No, it's about life. It's about health. You know what I'm saying? And not always about a look. Because now you got to consider your vital organs. You know what I'm saying? Work inside out, not outside in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
how you doing? How's your lungs, man? Can you run a block? How's your lung capacity, your breathing, and things of this nature? Because a lot of cats is like, what is fit and what is in what is fit and what is in shape? You know, how you define being conditioned? You know what I'm saying? Because football players weighing 300, 400 pounds is different from a swimmer from a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Track and field. You know what I'm saying? Soccer player. You know, they all different conditions. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say what you're doing, your discipline, you can't even do no pull-ups, man. I don't need to do no pull-ups. You be conditioned for what I do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be touching the backboard to be conditioned to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Trying to dunk and all that there. I don't need all that.
Yeah.
Trying to do
With
all
another
that
profession.
I don't need to be hitting the bag. I don't need to be doing all that there to be conditioned to do what I do, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, calisthenics, all sports is doing calisthenics.
Without a doubt.
All sports, all disciplines is doing calisthenics, man. So we come back to the calisthenics. This is a sport too. Not just for training purposes and conditioning, it's a sport. That's where we was trying to go with it. Our next, move, creating it to be a sport. Olympics or something like that. This is our hood Olympics that we do in the Pull-Up Park Jam. That's our bar community thing. But like, it's an international thing because you're seeing people from all the different countries competing now. Body weight, weight, they putting on weights and stuff like that, but they doing competitions and it's a sport. It's a sport.
Definitely a sport.
One day I'm looking at it as an Olympics, in the Olympics, I'm not 2021, but I see commercials where they doing, pull-ups now and stuff like that there. So it's getting there. It's getting there. And I always said, like, I'm just passing the baton, man. I know when I started, I was 40-something years old, 42. And here it is now, I'm 65. So maybe by the time I get 70, 75, it might be there.
Might be.
With the help of you guys, what I'm
much
saying?
respect,
like, you're doing what you're doing,
pushing.
Yeah.
Okay, from your first Pull-Up Park Jam, do you recall anybody in particular coming out that's like actually still active today, like with a team or?
It's a whole lot of cats, man. It's a whole lot of cats that, okay, when we first started, who's still competing from our first one?
Yeah, from your first one. Or anybody that's active like that you remember.
I don't know if you know E-Boogie. I forget his other name. He's out there with center blocking him out in Coniana a lot with them. E-Boogie, he's short. Like, I can't really describe him. E-Boogie, right? That's what I know, but my partner knows his other name.
He was there at the beginning.
Yeah, he was there the first one. Yeah.
Wow.
And he still competes. He's a young guy though. He's a young guy. So when he was competing there, he was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like 30-something years old maybe now, or something like that there, right? But yeah, and ain't really too many other cats. When we got to Lincoln Terrace, then that's when a lot of cats came out, and you seen some teams like, come out, like Team Wingate, the Barbarians, the Highlanders. We had
bartenders, probably, yeah.
Bartenders. And MBXA wasn't really out there because it was part of bartenders, right? And that's basically the teams right there, man. It was about maybe a handful.
Beast mode.
Everything's beast mode, yeah. Everything's beast mode, yeah. It's a handful. That I was acknowledgeable, but if you ask some of the other guys that's more in tune
They could say, "Oh no, there was this team."
Because I wasn't like about the team stuff or anything like that. There,
Yeah, you was like, "Yo, one man."
Just competition thing, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? As far as even YouTubing, and I wasn't even really on that either. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I got on Facebook is because I used to be a trainer in the gym, and my manager told me, say, yeah, it would be nice, like, you can get your clientele and this, that, and the other. And I said, okay, cool. I got it in 2011. Boom. And we got incorporated in 2012. But I had a name. I was out there. I had a name of, for working out and stuff like that there. So, a lot of people gravitated. You know what I'm saying? As far as NQ, the Brotherhood.
Yeah, the Brotherhood, yeah.
Brotherhood, yeah, let me not forget. Apologies. You know what I'm saying? So, and I might even forget,
a couple, yeah.
Ain't no excuses. No, I'm not getting old or anything like that. Nothing like that.
You just wasn't in tune with the team.
Yeah,
you was worried about that comp.
Even now, it's like I don't like tune into a lot of stuff because I don't have that energy or time. And I'm just like, hey man, I just want to relax now. I'm getting ready to take up some fishing and golfing now, man.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. I'll let y'all take it. I got injured up. I need to chill, relax, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more like trying to still be a director as opposed to being an actor.
Nice.
Yeah.
So have you ever competed against your partner? One-on-one?
Yeah. It was a fun thing.
Always.
A fun thing, yeah. Last one we had. It was a fun thing, yeah. Who last man standing on the bar. And how many reps. That was Q had competed against Red at first, and then me and my partner, it was a fun thing. Yeah,
Fun.
Because he's always been like, he's big. He's bigger than me. Like, yeah, he's like more. I'm like lightweight. He's a heavyweight.
So, two different divisions.
Yeah. So but he's 50, I think 57, 58, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. We did a fun thing. And then he was into running marathons and stuff like that. Yeah.
So if there was like other states and things like that would be willing to, they want to bring that.
Yeah. Like I talked to my man Dante's from Baltimore.
Nice.
Yeah, we've been trying to like get this here ball rolling.
With the pull-up park jam.
Baltimore, from what I understand, is a state and an inner city that's trying to rebuild, trying to recover from a lot of protesting and riots and all the sort of stuff like that there. And he has shown me his leadership and roles and playing like feeding the homeless and people like that there, and getting a community of interested bar people in the parks and stuff like that there. He's shown me like, the interest that they have. And I think they had one competition, I'm not sure, where they had like some trophies and give away and everything like that. But we have talked. And my man Animal, I think Animal, this kid Animal, he lives down there now.
Yeah, he's down there.
Yeah. So Animal was one of the first ones too that was like came through Lincoln Terrace in the beginning, like around 2002, 3, something like that, 1, something like that there. Yeah. So he was a fierce competitor, Animal. And I think he was down with he was down with bartenders.
Yeah.
Before he was down with the bartenders, because he was trying to compete with the Beast.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah.
But it was some cats that came along, that it's not too many cats that I remember from where, like you got D-Real, you got Abs, you got a lot of cats that retired, so to speak. They come around, they still judge, they still show their face, but as far as on the competing, ain't too many cats that's like OG still competing. You got a whole new circle now.
Yeah, so with 20 years.
Yeah, so. But I respect them that's still around because they teaching. They giving something to those, like, to reach for, or some wisdom, some knowledge of, like, it's just like when Arnold was doing what he was doing, and then you got Ronald Coleman and all these other guys, Lee Haney and all, like, they learned some stuff from Arnold.
Yeah.
And they was bigger than Arnold, and, like, had it longer than Arnold, and, you know what I'm saying? So, like, with the cats like Doc and Q and Red and Zeph and all them, and a lot of people say, well, like, well, I can't see nobody going past them or doing more than what they do. And you look at history, man. You look at history in all the sports, man. Somebody coming greater than Mike. Somebody coming greater than Ali, in boxing, and you know what I'm saying, track and field. You had Jesse Owens, Carl Lewis, and you got Usain Bolt, and as time goes, every 10 years or so, somebody coming is like, oh my God, So I can never say never, and it can't be done. Well, hopefully you'll be around, you can see for yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So we're going to close out. So before we do now, if somebody, is just starting calisthenics, and they're trying to reach elite level, what kind of advice would you have for that person?
Well, like, if you just starting out, I would say, why are you doing it? Like, I mean, what's your purpose? What's the reason for you doing it? Like, what do you see in this? Like, as a hobby, as a sport, a job, like, you want to get better to compete, or you just want to work out, you want to put in your workout regimen, or, what you want to do. But they have, like, if you have difficulties doing pull-ups and chin-ups and things of this nature, they have assistant workouts to get you, like,
modified.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You modifying your workouts and exercises now, and trust you, believe you me, it's gonna get better. What you put in. You know what I'm saying? Like how I began, I used to be in the park, man, all day. People would like be leaving, I'd be in the park 7 o'clock in the morning when they came home from work. Man, you still here? Like, you don't got no job? I said, this is my job. This is my job. Every day, 7 days a week. That's how it was. And all the cats is like, damn, man, yo, I'm breaking out, man. Okay, see you later. I would be on the bench sometime, laying down on the bench, trying to get a little nap in between my little workouts, then get back up. It'd be hot, 100 degrees. I go in the sprinklers. They had the sprinklers, and I cool off, go back on the bar. That's how I was, by myself. By myself. Ain't too many people was hanging out with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting it, and I was a little older than everybody, too. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, gee, yeah, OG, you be getting it there. I'm like, yeah, I know me. See, that's the thing. You got to know you, find out about you, and do you. Like, I'm busy watching you, and I'm missing something about myself. But if I'm watching you to a certain degree. It's like, okay, you got that? Okay. Lead that and come over here now. You know what I'm saying? Come over here now. You know what I'm saying? Don't stay there. Don't lose focus. Don't lose focus. You know what I'm saying? So it would be that stay disciplined, stay true to the game, and know that it's gonna get better for you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be easy. Nothing comes easy. If it's too easy for you, it's not gonna be appreciated. So if you hurting, you sore, you in pain, you know what I'm saying? It's like your mind playing tricks on you. Like, oh man, I can't do this. Don't believe all the hype. Don't believe all the hype, man.
Fight through it.
Stay with it and try to surround yourself with support. Like-minded people. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't started out with 10, 20 reps, man. You start with 1 rep. And like that support.
Work your way up.
That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know nobody that can say, ain't nobody did nothing for me. I did it all by myself. I got it all by myself. It was just me, nobody else. No, I don't know nobody. I don't know such an animal. And if they are, I want to meet you.
Exactly.
I want to meet you. if nobody encouraged you or informed you that you could do it, and come on, man, you know, like, I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know, if you don't want me to let me know who you are, that's cool too. You know,
Yeah,
we
right.
keep it moving, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
All right, man, Keith, much respect, man. We appreciate what you did for the calisthenics community. Time, effort, people don't really understand how much goes into these tournaments. You know, it's a lot behind the scenes, man. All right, guys, stay tuned, man. Stay fit, man. Thanks for tuning in.
I just want to say to RipRight, you know, Islaam, man, listen, you're doing a real good job, you know, putting people out there, you know, letting people know who's who in terms of like, well, if you didn't know, now you know.
Exactly. Peace. Respect.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a lump of flesh, a piece of meat. إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. And when that lump of flesh